Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we all today? Well, as you can see, last night again was a night of downpours and high winds. This morning, it's just looking grim, isn't it? It's looking horrible, actually, to be quite honest. I don't know about you, but our washing is stacking up at the moment, hoping that we're going to get a day when the weather is nice. It's not so much the washing, it's the drying. Anyway, looking over towards Amber Lockerbie and Kerry, dark clouds still on the horizon. No little wisps of sunshine trying to work its way through. Nice to see Chick Ballantyne here, and also Dennis Patrick Carroll. What's the weather like in Cyprus at the moment? How's it doing over there? Are you getting sunshine still, or are you having your rainy bits now as well? Because I remember them, they used to be really humongous when I was there years ago. But anyway, looking across to Laguna and also across to Kalamaki, it is looking very, very grim over in that direction of the island as well. One thing I did notice yesterday, we were talking about the oranges yesterday, and I'm amazed. I'm still getting a picture. As you can see, there's oranges there on the floor at the moment, but when you look how far away they are from the orange trees, that gives you some idea of how heavy the winds have been that they've been blowing the oranges at least well, I would say about 10-15 feet from where the trees are. But at the moment yet, still no word that they're eaters at the moment. But anyway, we shall wait and see. Hey, once again, can I just say the connection today seems to be absolutely brilliant. I'll find out if it is fantastic when I play this back at the end. Yesterday doing my show, the reception and the signal was brilliant, considering the horrible weather that was going on outside the house at the time. So there you go, guys. Oh, Dennis Patrick Carroll says in Cyprus at the moment it's nice and sunny. Obviously, a quick look at the chickens. There, they're all amassing. It's like the birds. We're all under siege from the chickens. Anyway, let's have a look at the news. Let's see what's been going on in Greece, and also give you the COVID stats. Let's turn my picture around, see me dulcet face. There you go. I'm looking a bit windswept and interesting this morning. Anyway, what are we now? Yes, day 33, 10th of December, and it's a Thursday. Anyway, COVID in the last 24 hours. Right, yesterday we had 1,677 new cases of the virus in Greece, 10 of which were detected at points of entry into the country. And so the total number stands at, since the pandemic started, at 119,720. Anyway, we've had one new case, and that was in Corfu, in the Ionian Islands. Nobody else, especially us here in Zakynthos, we've not had anything in the last day or so. So looking good there from that respect. Anyway, people who are in ICUs, in incubation at the moment, the number is 578 people. Their average age is 66 years of age with underlying conditions. Interestingly, 172 of those people are women, and obviously the rest are men. 75% of the incubated patients have underlying diseases or are aged 70 years or older. And also, interestingly, 691 patients have been discharged from the ICU. So the number has gone down just slightly. Anyway, unfortunately, we've also had 95 more deaths, and that brings the total death rate in Greece since the pandemic started up to 3,289, and 1,312 of those deaths are women and the rest are men, and that's a percentage of about 39% of them have been women. Again, the average age of those that have deceased is 79 years of age, and 96.2 of them had underlying disease or were aged 70 years or over. And again, not seen any younger deaths being reported from anybody in the last few days. Interestingly, yesterday it was just announced that a 76-year-old monk on Mount Athos, those people who don't know what Mount Athos is, Mount Athos is a region up near Halkidiki where it's a peninsula where women are not allowed. All the monasteries there, the very strict monasteries are there, and they've reported that they've had a death there of a 76-year-old monk, and also another 6 monasteries in that location on that peninsula have been placed into quarantine. And that was reported yesterday, although the monk's death actually was on the Saturday. So there you go. Right. Interestingly, again, yesterday, the Greek Prime Minister, Mr. Mitsotakis, did an interview on Alpha Television. In it, his aim was clearly to rally the nation behind the extended lockdown and pushing for the vaccine. Now, the key reasons he gave for the delay in the decline in the number of cases of COVID, which was according to the experts he listens to on the COVID-19 committee, is because of gatherings of people in other people's houses. Mitsotakis said his government are maintaining a hard line on the continued lockdown measures, at least until the 14th of December. Now, he said the 14th of December, but he's still saying the schools up until the 6th of January, and that came later in the actual thing, because I can already see people in confusion. Trust me, I was in confusion yesterday as well. Anyway, despite the anguish it's causing to business over the dire economic repercussions, and also the fact that citizens here are now fatigued, he has strongly urged citizens to faithfully comply with public health guidelines in the continuing months, as the much desired herd immunity that will get Greece out of the woods would take months. Now, this sounds like a bit of a contradiction, because observers are questioning why lock people down, because in effect it's not actually been working. If you want herd immunity to take place, then you obviously protect the vulnerable, let people go about their daily business, and let it do its thing. But anyway, he's also facing criticism from various quarters, including doctors and some scientific researchers. This is what he's saying, that the current lockdown restrictions are not strict enough, maintaining that its extension, including the continued closures of schools and restaurants, is in large measure due to the public's failure to faithfully abide by the public health line guidelines. Well, that is always the politician. Blame the public for not doing as they're being told to do, and come down hard on anybody who questions it. Anyway, interestingly, again in the interview, he said, after a host of conflicting statements from ministers and other officials in recent weeks regarding which sectors of the economy will open for business before Christmas, he effectively issued a gag order prohibiting ministers and other officials from offering possible dates and instructing them to say that everything will depend on the recommendations of the COVID-19 Committee of Scientists that advise the government. Restaurants, nightclubs, theatres and other entertainment venues will remain shut indefinitely. Anyway, the government has banned holiday gatherings of over 9 people in homes. It has also banned the movement between prefectures, both measures of which are exceptionally difficult to enforce by policing. And Greek families, we know how big Greek families are. Britain's been going on about only allowing 6. Here they're allowing 9. And again, at least there's a number being put on it, whereas before it was 2 families may meet. How big is your family? Anyway, so Mitsotakis said also he launched into a campaign, obviously persuading people that the vaccines are safe. Mitsotakis said that the first batch of vaccines are due to arrive in Greece in early January, and has declared that he and his family will be among the first to be vaccinated. Anyway, he called upon the opposition leaders to do the same, as to persuade a significantly distrustful public, of which I can say I'm one of those distrustful. He further said conspiracy theorists and specious pseudo-scientific argument, spacious scientific, I can't even say that this time of the morning. Anyway, basically pseudo-scientific arguments, he might be talking about me there, has inundated the social media and has been adopted by some famous singers and artists. Yes, as if we're going to take our lead from singers and artists. It sounds like the UK, doesn't it? Just because a load of lovies get up on the stage and say, oh, you must have the injection, they think all their fan base is going to run out and do it. I think some people have got more sense than that, to be quite honest. Anyway, Mitsotakis then emphatically emphasised that the vaccines were safe. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. So Mr. Mitsotakis is saying, in one hand, maybe the 14th of December, we might ease up a little bit. But on the other hand, he's saying we're going to go through till the 6th of January. And all we can do is just wait at the moment. Also, interestingly as well, the award-winning crime novelist, this is a story that goes with the expat community, certain parts of the expat community. I'll explain that in a tick. The award-winning crime novelist David Young, I've never read any of his books, I don't know what he's written, is leading a last-ditch campaign by British second home and boat owners, calling on the Greek government to allow the former European Union citizens to spend up to 6 months in Greece at any one time. Now, because of Brexit, unless the rules change, British visitors will only be able to spend 90 days in a row in Greece or any other EU country from January the 1st, 2020, under the Schengen Agreement. After that, they will have to leave for a similar amount of time. Now, Young, who has a house on Spiros, said in a written statement that this is unfair to British owners who bought their properties and boats while they had free movement as EU citizens. Then we realised that it is the Brexit decision that has caused this, but we invested in Greece in good faith. Many of us did not vote for Brexit and vehemently oppose it. We hope the Greek government will act unilaterally to help us by granting us special permits or visas, allowing us to spend up to 180 days a time in Greece. This would recreate the amount of time Greeks and EU citizens are allowed to spend in the UK. I've got to be honest, if you've taken the effort to go and buy a house over here, I thought you might have applied actually for Greek citizenship, Greek residency, the same as what Jane and I have got. Where basically you have a property here. We haven't got a property, we just rent a property, but we work here. And as long as you fill the paperwork in and you show that you can support yourself and that you've got your medical cover, you shouldn't have had any difficulty really in getting a Greek residency card. We are waiting to see what's going to happen with the Greek residency card at the end of this year when the new biometric cards come in. I know there are information leaflets that are going around at the moment, and I might probably do a special episode on that, as I've been gathering information on that as well. But at the moment, I would think that those type of people who bought property would have actually said, like, let's get a residency. However, those with boats, not having owned a yacht, I could understand from their situation. I do have a friend at the moment up in Poros who's got a yacht, but he's also bought a house here as well. But at the moment, with the residency permit system at the moment, you effectively could come and go without any real issues. But again, it depends how much ducking and diving you probably want to do over here. But anyway, he said as well, the campaign that he's called, if you want to go and check this out, he's got a Facebook page called 180 Days in Greece. And it says that after informal contacts with politicians and people close to the government, he gets the impression that they may be sympathetic to the campaign's aims, which is to grant 180 days, 6 months for people to be able to come and go from Greece. Jane and I were having this discussion. I feel personally, even though Portugal is a nation that Mr. Young also mentions, who is opting to do this 180 days, I don't know if Greece is going to be allowed to have autonomy to do it. Because at the moment, with the way that things are with the EU, with Brexit and everything else like that, the EU, to me, will be trying to exert control and maybe poking in the eye, shall we say, people who want to defy the norm of, Britain leaving the EU. And this is one easy way that they can actually just basically be a nuisance to people who just want to live their lives at the moment. And I do feel that Greece may not be allowed to grant autonomy. I may be wrong on this. You might have an opinion on this. But at the moment, the Greek government seems to be sympathetic towards it. And the reason is that they do see the British market as one of the biggest markets for tourism here in the country. Also, as well, Mr. Young does point out that by having that extended 6 months, we actually encourage an extension of the British season as well. And obviously, we want people to stay in the country longer. So obviously, they spend more money. So anyway, he's actually saying, Mr. Young, that it seems like we're going backwards. We're going back to the days of the Berlin Wall, which I think is a little bit of a dramatic statement of this, with people having to have travel documents to be able to come and go, not being allowed to move freely. But we shall wait and see. But if you want to check out his campaign, maybe you want to sign his petition. He's got a petition up there as well, 180 days in Greece. By all means, just go onto Facebook, look up 180 days in Greece, and you can read it there. And the name of the artist is a guy called David Young. I don't know if anybody's read any of his books, but we shall wait and see how that plays out. Also, another story as well that's been hitting the Greek main media today. Amnesty International is calling for an end to police violence and officers acting in impunity in Greece following the recent excessive use of force during the remembrance of the young lad that was killed in the Exania district of Athens. It calls Amnesty International's Greek branch is urging people to speak out and to sign a petition that will be sent to ministers of the Citizen and Protection and Justice Ministry. On Sunday, police were videoed firing stun grenades inside a closed space and the entrance of an apartment building to supposedly flush out demonstrators. Anyway, according to people, they said that this was a forbidden act. Also, it could have seriously injured people. And the video of the raid was posted on social media. And in it, people were accusing the Greek police of being totally uncontrollable and out of order. Again, you can see those videos online. Smacks a bit of London, really, in some ways, but I think a little bit more heavy-handed than London in some ways. At least stun grenades weren't being fired by British police during anti-lockdown demonstrations. Anyway, a little bit of light news then for you. Here's yesterday, the Sky Express flight from Athens to Kefalonia. It was a bit of a thriller ride for all those on board. As it took several attempts for the aircraft SEH-260 to try and make its landing at Kefalonia airport. It seems it took a few attempts flying round before the pilot could eventually get the plane into the Kefalonia strip without having to abort its flight and return back to Athens. Everybody aboard said it was a thriller ride. And the pilot managed to get it in, landed it safely. And the reason for that was because of the high winds yesterday were causing problems for flights. Jane said she's actually done a similar flight where she was trying to land at Kefalonia, and it took the pilot there in the winter a couple of attempts to try and get it in because of the winds. And I do know in the past, it seems Kefalonia Airport has strange crosswinds at times, and it can be a bit of a handful to try and get in. Right, let's have a quick look at who's looking online. I see a few names of people from the past who are popping up, which is lovely to see. Chick Ballantyne, I've already mentioned. Hello, fella. Nice to see you here. Denise Patrick Carroll is watching all the way from Cyprus. He's actually told me they've got sun in Cyprus, which is nice. Emma Marku is tuning in as well. Nice to see you, Emma. And Dennis Patrick Carroll says it's sunny at the moment. You lucky souls. Johnny Hayes, ex-Raf Reg buddy, is also tuning in as well. Lovely to see you here as well, mate. Watching as well. Who else have I had? A few other people watching. Oh, here we go. Yes, it's gone a bit slow going out. Linda and Gary from Essex is watching. Thank you, Linda and Gary, for your little point you made the day before yesterday about the anniversary of the shooting of John Lennon. That is in the new show number 17. That is up online, and I'll give you a mention about that as well. Once again, just to remind you, my new show number 17 is up online. It's had quite a few views already since it went up online last night. But thank you for your little heads up and jogging my memory as well. Greatly appreciated. So thanks to Linda and Gary in Essex. Jack Harmer, Raffredge Buddy is looking in as well. Nice to see you here as well. Big Al Thompson is tuning in as well. Sue Dickinson is tuning in. Jack Cotterill is watching too. Nice to see you. Hey, we got somebody from Australia tuning in. Old Rossi's Place. How you doing, Big B? Rossi used to have a bar in Argosy called Rossi's Place, and when I used to manage the factory nightclub, he used to be across the road from us, and they were interesting days, they were, Rossi. Anyway, I think last time I told you, I did see your dad actually one time. I think it was last season. He was having coffee, and we having a little chat. He was telling me you're doing really well over there in Oz, and you've obviously got 2 little boys now as well. I do know you do the odd visit to your temple, okay, Old Trafford, and he took your little boys there at one point. But anyway, nice to see you looking in and checking up, because God knows what time it is where you are. Amanda Gregory up the road is looking in. She's doing a fantastic job looking after some little stray dogs at the moment. She's been a mum and a nurse, and little Marley, he's on the mend and he's looking really well. And when you saw the pictures of him when she first got him to what he's like now, oh, bless him, he's getting to become a big boy, and hopefully they're going to find a home for him. Who else have we got here? Patrina Hill, lovely to have you tuning in as well. Nice to see you. Maria Hallenberg is tuning in as well. Marie, in yesterday's show, I put your Demis Roussos in. I never realised that he sang the Zorba song, which is My Friend the Wind, which has been very apt for the last few days here. So that tune is also in the show as well, along with Maria Mercuri, Never on Sundays. I also popped that in as well for a little bit of memory for those people of Greece, because people say, you don't play hardly any Greek music, Ginge. Yeah, I play the odd little bit now and again, but yeah, so they're in the show as well. Andrew the Fridge Watkins down there, over there in Wales, is tuning in. Oh, he's telling me what the weather's like. He says, morning, Ginge, from the wet and dark Wales. Yes, it's certainly a little bit wet and dark here at the moment. Denise Tyndall is also watching as well. Nice to see her. Al Parks is watching. Al, I dropped you a copy of yesterday's show as well. Your request is in there. Max Bygraves, you're a pink toothbrush, I'm a blue toothbrush. Got you a good version of that as well. If you saw the video of it yesterday, it has the lyrics for you, so you can sing along to it. Bring back memories of your childhood. But anyway, thank you for that one, Al. You keep me on my toes, I've got to be honest. Also, Christos is tuning in, our ex-barman from Magdalena's. He then went to Paradise and is now working in a nice posh hotel somewhere. I hope you're having a good winter at the moment. And also, happy birthday from a couple of days ago as well. But you still haven't told us how old you are. You're keeping that a secret, I can see. Anyway, Al Park says, good morning, have a great day. Jan Lawrence is watching. Hello, a good day. Leah Barnes is watching. Hello, Leah. Nice to see you here. And she says, morning, Ginge. Leah used to live here. Went back with her 2 children, Lily and also Theo. They are now in Sheffield. Leah married a lovely fella by the name of James. Jane and I did the photography for the wedding, we remember, which was... How many years ago was that? Is it a couple of years ago? But anyway, wishing you a happy wedding anniversary that's going to come later in the month. And really nice to have you tuning in. I know Jane had a long chat with you a couple of nights ago, reliving old times over here in Zakynthos. Anyway, Maria Hallberg from Sweden, she says, all the snow is gone now. Oh, bless you, Marie. I wish we had snow. I prefer having snow than rain. Snow's more cosy in some ways. Anyway, Jan Lawrence says, morning, Ginge. Leah Barnes, Getting quite used to hearing your voice first thing. Thank you for that, Leah. I appreciate that. Some people say he's bloody annoying this time of the morning, but I do have good things to say. Anyway, Mark Stewart is watching. Nice to see you, Mark. Kevin Bell is watching as well. Debbie Jane is watching as well. Lovely to see you here as well, Debbie. Also, Heather Nash from a wretched, miserable Birmingham. Heather was listening in yesterday to the show. She didn't like too much of the reggae, but she liked the punk and the new wave. So it's all right. I've got to cater for everybody, Heather, all right? Because it's not Nash FM, all right? Bless you. But anyway, I hope you and Gary are on the mend. I know you've had the COVID. Heather is going back to work on Monday after being... you know, in isolation, getting over it. She's also having to have a vaccine as well, which I thought was a bit odd. You've already had the virus. Why do you have to have a vaccine as well? Anyway, more of that may come out as things go on. But anyway, you have a good day as well. Oh, and Amanda says up the hill there, it says, we're keeping Marley. Oh, bless. So he's got a home. I'm so pleased. Steve Hodgson is watching as well from County Durham. How's the weather up there? Are you on shift at the moment? At the moment, I've got somebody saying, really enjoying your broadcast, and I can't seem to scroll anymore. Oh, well, anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I'm going on and on and on and on. Once again, stay safe. Just follow the rules here, everybody in Greece. At the end of the day, you don't want a €300 fine because at the moment, with a lot of people like Jane. Oh, yeah, just a quick one about Jane. Jane's issue over OED or ICA. At the moment, we've been talking to people. There's quite a few people in this position whose company they were working for had changed its status from seasonal business to full-time business because they weren't actually employing enough staff. They had to have 70% staff to keep their seasonal business status. Now, in good faith, some of these companies operated on the understanding that people were going to get their actual ICA at the end of working for them. And then obviously it seems the rug was pulled out up from under their feet. OED were making decisions that, no, these people are not eligible. It's an injustice. Things are being worked on at the moment. I have passed the story to the mainstream Greek media, but I've not heard nothing back from them at all. There is a lawyer here on the island who's head of the accountants, part of the accountants union. They've been drafting letters, but at the moment, no feedback as to how far it's going to move forward. But I'm hoping there's enough people across Greece, and if you're somebody in another part of Greece who's in the same situation where you're not getting your unemployment benefit because the company that you work for had its status changed from seasonal to full-time during the season that you were working, and even though you worked and you got your 51 stamps, which the government said was the amount that was required for people to get help, please go and see your accountant. Get your accountants to speak to the head of their accountants association in that location, because the more people from different directions coming forward with the same story, the more likely things are going to get done, and these people are not going to slip through the net. And the danger is, if they don't get the OED ICA payment for this season, when it comes to next year, if everything goes back to the way it normally is, they will have to re-qualify again, which could take them as many as 2 years to re-qualify. So please, if you're in that situation, please come forward. Let your accountant know and get your accountant to get on to the person in charge of their association in the location that they are in. All right? Right, that's it from me. I'm going to say ta-ra now. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.